If you want to avoid being just another number in the statistic of 18 million annual deaths from heart disease, it's time to rethink what you put on your plate. Believe me, the path to a healthy heart doesn't involve crazy diets or cutting out everything you love. In fact, it's the small changes and the right knowledge that make the difference. Most people consume 73% of their daily calories from ultra-processed foods without realizing the damage it causes to their bodies. Meanwhile, we are stuck with myths that keep us away from true solutions. Want a quick example? Those innocent sweets and crispy fried foods are much more dangerous than we imagine. Let's debunk these myths and discover what really works to protect your heart. If you are tired of feeling lost amid so much conflicting information about what to eat, this is the moment to turn things around. Throughout this video, we will dive deep into the truths behind the foods we consume and explore how simple choices can transform your heart health. Get ready to discover secrets that few share and to take control of your diet once and for all. After all, your heart deserves the best care. 1. Heart disease overview. Cardiovascular disease is like that silent thief that gradually steals health without us noticing. With 18 million lives lost annually, it's clear that heart health is an issue that cannot be neglected. Poor eating habits and a sedentary lifestyle are the main culprits of this alarming scenario. Imagine the impact that a simple daily walk or swapping a processed snack for a fruit can have on your life. Small changes add up, and your heart will thank you. But what many do not understand is that the problem is not limited to what we eat. Our daily habits, such as the consumption of ultra-processed foods, account for 73% of the calories consumed in the US. It's very easy to fall into the routine of opening a pack of cookies or stopping at the drive-thru, without realizing that this is literally undermining your heart health. It's all a matter of choice. Deciding to avoid these foods is already a step in the right direction. Additionally, the absurd amount of sugar in foods is an often underestimated enemy. In a single fast food order, you could be consuming up to 150 grams of sugar, far exceeding the recommended daily limits. This not only contributes to obesity, but also opens doors to metabolic diseases that directly affect the heart. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, as understanding what really harms the heart goes far beyond dietary cliches. What lies behind the real threats to the heart? 2. Myth busting. Many still believe that all saturated fats are villains for heart health, but the reality is much more complex. The fats found in butter and coconut oil, for example, have been unfairly demonized for decades. While some saturated fats can raise bad cholesterol, not all of them cause damage. More recent studies show that the bigger problem lies in processed vegetable oils and trans fats found in industrialized foods. Therefore, rethinking fat consumption may be more about quality than quantity. Believing that all fats are the same is like believing that all sugar is the same. Yes, the sugar in fruits and refined sugar are chemically similar, but their effects on the body are drastically different. Similarly, there is a big difference between eating a slice of avocado, rich in healthy fats, and devouring a portion of French fries in vegetable oil. For those seeking to improve heart health, it's worth looking at food labels and avoiding fats that truly inflame the body. It is essential to debunk these myths because they create a barrier between us and truly healthy eating. Instead of cutting out all fats, how about starting to replace bad ones with good ones? Swap margarine for extra virgin olive oil, use coconut oil for cooking, and include more avocado in meals. These are simple but effective steps. When we understand that the problem lies more in the choices than in the food category itself, we take a big step towards a healthier and more balanced life. And, of course, this brings us to the next point, the real villain of the heart that many ignore. 3. Inflammation and oxidative stress. The true root of heart problems lies in inflammation and oxidative stress. Imagine the body as a machine that, over time, accumulates rust and dirt if not properly cared for. This rust is actually the damage caused by chronic inflammation and oxidative stress, which harm blood vessels, impair circulation, and eventually lead to complications such as heart attacks and strokes. These damages are often the consequence of a diet rich in sugars and processed foods, which raise insulin levels and promote insulin resistance. When inflammation sets in, it's like an alarm that never turns off. Oxidative stress acts like a kind of short circuit in cells, damaging them and preventing them from functioning correctly. A practical example, the constant feeling of fatigue and difficulty recovering after exercise. Signs that the body is struggling to manage this stress. A smart approach is to include antioxidant foods in the diet, such as berries, nuts, and leafy greens, which help combat these damages. Small changes, like replacing soda with green tea or adding a portion of blueberries to breakfast, can make a big difference. This silent fight against inflammation cannot be ignored. For many, the first step is recognizing the signs the body gives, such as fatigue, joint pain, and even mood swings, which may be directly linked. Reducing sugar intake, avoiding fried foods, and preferring natural foods are steps that relieve this inflammatory burden. When it comes to heart care, prevention is the best strategy, and combating inflammation is one of the fundamental pillars. But there is still another important question to be unraveled. Carbohydrates. Are they friends or foes? 4. Carbohydrates misconception. Carbohydrates are often seen as the villain of the modern diet, but the truth is they are an essential part of our diet. However, not all carbohydrates are created equal. Both white bread and sweet potatoes turn into glucose in the body, but the speed and impact of this vary greatly. While complex carbohydrates, such as those found in whole grains and legumes, provide energy more gradually, refined carbohydrates can spike blood sugar levels, leading to insulin spikes and, over time, insulin resistance, a precursor to diabetes and heart disease. The misconception that all carbohydrates are harmful has led many to avoid healthy, fiber-rich foods that actually help regulate blood sugar levels. A good example is oats, which, when consumed in moderation, can improve heart health by lowering bad cholesterol. The secret is in balance and conscious food choices, opting for carbohydrates that bring nutritional benefits and avoiding those that are low in nutrients, such as refined bread and pasta. And, if you are looking for ways to further strengthen your health, especially with a focus on the heart, consider exploring supplements that can give that extra boost on your journey. There are options that help regulate glucose levels and reduce inflammation, contributing to more robust cardiovascular health. If you want to know more about these supplements and how they can be integrated into your daily life, check out the link I left in the first comment. It's an opportunity to deepen your health care in a practical and accessible way. But, back to what matters, ultra-processed foods are an even more dangerous trap than common carbohydrates, and that brings us to the next point. 5. Processed and refined foods are on almost every supermarket shelf, and it's very easy to fall into the temptation of consuming them. Cookies, white bread, cakes, and snacks may seem harmless, but they are loaded with bad fats, added sugars, and preservatives that sabotage heart health. These foods are designed to taste irresistible, but they often come with a hidden cost. They inflame the body and increase the risk of heart disease. A simple switch, such as replacing white bread with a true whole grain version, is already a big step to avoid these problems. Besides the harmful ingredients, processed foods also lack the nutrients that our body really needs to function well. Vitamins, minerals, and fibers are replaced by empty calories that offer little to no real nutrition. This leads to a vicious cycle. We eat more but never feel truly satisfied or nourished. Trying to prepare your own snacks, like homemade cereal bars or oatmeal cookies, can be a fun and healthy way to get out of the ultra-processed trap. The key is always to be one step ahead, reading food labels, cooking more at home, and choosing fresh ingredients are actions that have a big long-term impact. Busy life doesn't always make it easy, but it's worth trying to reduce the consumption of these industrialized products. After all, A healthy heart starts with conscious choices in everyday life. And, speaking of choices, hidden sugar is another disguised villain that deserves special attention. Let's understand more about this next. 6. Sugar's hidden dangers. Sugar is like that villain disguised as a friend, always present at special occasions, but full of hidden intentions. In excess, it can cause more damage than we imagine, especially when it comes to the heart. Added sugar, especially fructose found in processed foods, overwhelms the liver, leading to fat accumulation and insulin resistance. This opens doors not only to diabetes, but also to a range of cardiovascular complications that could be avoided with a simple diet adjustment. It's impressive how sugar is hidden in the most unlikely places: salad dressings, bread, and even foods that claim to be healthy. This rampant consumption contributes to glucose spikes that inflame the body and overload the circulatory system. The tip here is to pay attention to labels and prefer options without added sugars. Swapping sodas for sparkling water with a touch of lemon or choosing fresh fruits instead of sugary desserts are practical ways to reduce sugar intake daily. And don't be fooled into thinking you need to cut out all sweets from your life to keep your heart healthy. It's about balance and conscious choice. Small adjustments, like reducing sugar in coffee or opting for homemade desserts with less sugar, can already make a big difference. The important thing is to be aware of choices and remember that sugar is not the only thing to watch out for. Alcohol also deserves special attention when it comes to cardiovascular health. Let's talk about that next. 7. Alcohol and heart disease. Alcohol is one of those companions that seem harmless in celebrations, but can become a silent problem when consumed in excess. While an occasional glass of red wine can even be beneficial due to its antioxidants, regular and uncontrolled consumption overwhelms the liver, causing fat accumulation and increasing the risk of heart problems. This abuse directly affects cardiovascular health, leading to conditions such as hypertension and even heart failure. It's all about moderation and, of course, awareness. Moreover, alcohol is a significant contributor to the accumulation of empty calories, which often results in unwanted weight gain and insulin resistance. This is a cycle that compromises body function and puts the heart under constant pressure. If the goal is to maintain good heart health, consider reducing the consumption of alcoholic beverages. Swapping a drink-filled happy hour for an outdoor walk or a natural juice can be a choice that is good not only for the body, but also for the mind. For those who enjoy an occasional toast, moderation is the key word. And if it's hard to cut down on consumption, it might be time to seek alternatives, such as non-alcoholic drinks that mimic the flavor without the unwanted side effects. The important thing is to understand that excess is never healthy, and by prioritizing the heart, we prioritize a longer and quality life. Speaking of which, one of the biggest modern challenges lies in the oils we use in the kitchen. Let's explore more about this topic next. 8. The seed oil debate. Vegetable oils, like soybean, canola, and corn, have become common in kitchens, but few know that they can be real villains for heart health. These oils go through refining processes that make them highly inflammatory, contributing to oxidative stress in the body. This silent inflammation is one of the main drivers of heart disease, acting as fuel that feeds damage to blood vessels. It is no wonder that many experts recommend replacing them with healthier alternatives, such as extra virgin olive oil, which is less processed and full of antioxidants. For many, the switch may seem difficult. After all, these oils are present in many processed foods, but making simple substitutions in daily life can have a significant impact. Try using avocado oil for cooking or dressing salads with olive oil and a touch of lemon. These small changes not only help reduce inflammation, but also bring more flavor and nutrients to meals. It's about making choices that benefit the body and not just the momentary palate. The debate over vegetable oils is not just a trend. It's a call to rethink what we put on the plate. Often, we make choices without realizing the long-term impact they have. By opting for less processed and more natural oils, we are caring for our hearts in a way that goes beyond what is seen in the mirror. And, speaking of choices that affect the heart, fried foods are another challenge that deserves to be revisited. Let's dive into this topic now. 9. Fried foods and margarine. Fried foods are a temptation hard to resist, but what many don't know is that these crispy snacks hide a great danger to the heart. The problem starts with the oil used, which, when heated repeatedly, undergoes chemical changes that make it even more harmful. This process not only increases levels of trans fats, which are terrible for cholesterol, but also promotes oxidative stress, directly harming the arteries and increasing the risk of cardiovascular diseases. That golden French fry may be a tasty trap, but it's full of invisible risks. Margarine is another villain that, despite being a popular alternative to butter, is far from healthy. Rich in trans fats, margarine contributes to inflammation and plaque buildup in the arteries, compromising blood circulation and heart health. Opting for more natural fats, like real butter or olive oil, can make a big difference. The substitution may seem small, but it is an essential step to reduce the intake of harmful fats and improve the quality of the diet. Maintaining a diet rich in fresh foods and minimizing the consumption of fried foods and processed margarines is one of the best ways to care for the heart. Instead of frying, try baking or grilling your foods. Not only can the taste surprise, but the positive impact on health will be visible in the long term. When it comes to protecting the heart, every choice counts. And, speaking of choices that can be devastating, sweets are a dangerous combination of sugar and bad fats that deserve special attention. Let's explore more about that next. 10. Donuts and sugar. Donuts, with their innocent appearance and irresistible taste, are a perfect example of how sugar and processed fats can come together to create a real bomb for the heart. These small cakes are loaded with refined sugars, trans fats, and simple carbohydrates that spike blood glucose levels and promote inflammation. Consuming sweets like this frequently is like adding fuel to the fire of heart disease. Replacing these snacks with healthier alternatives, like fruits or a piece of dark chocolate, may seem like a small step, but it is already a significant advance for health. The danger of donuts goes beyond empty calories. They are a classic example of how ultra-processed foods mix everything bad into one bite. Hydrogenated fats, excess sugar, and refined flours are a perfect combination to raise bad cholesterol and contribute to fat buildup in the arteries. And the worst part, they are designed to be addictive, leading to repeated consumption and making it difficult to adopt healthier habits. But you don't need to cut out pleasure completely. If the idea is to keep the heart healthy, the tip is to find balance and look for substitutions that do not sacrifice flavor. Try homemade recipes with more natural ingredients, like oatmeal cakes sweetened with fruits. Small changes in the kitchen can have a big impact on health, and with the right knowledge, it is possible to protect the heart and still enjoy a little sweet treat without guilt. And now that you've learned how seemingly harmless foods can harm your health, how about applying all this in practice? After everything we've seen, the big question is, are you ready to make these changes and truly care for your heart? It's not about cutting out everything you like or living with impossible restrictions, but about making conscious and responsible choices. Small steps, like swapping fried foods for baked foods, reducing sugar consumption, and preferring natural fats, can already make a huge difference in your life. Think about how you want to live in the coming years, with health and energy, or always chasing after problems that could have been avoided. So, what are you going to do with all this knowledge? Will you keep ignoring what you put on your plate? Or will you start making choices that protect your heart? The decision is in your hands, and only you can take the action that will positively impact your life. Take the moment to reflect on your habits and start transforming them today. Your health is the most precious asset you have, and now you know what to do to preserve it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning more about how to keep your body and heart healthy. And if you want to take a powerful next step, check out the video Maximum Detox. Discover the 10 superfoods that will purify your liver. After all, a healthy heart starts with a balanced body. Let's go on this journey together.